Welcome to the SISTAIN Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Tracy, the founder of SISTAIN. 10 chemicals known to harm human health contaminate more than 90% of household dust samples. These chemicals come from a variety of household goods, including furniture, cookware, and cleaning. Your family deserves better. At SISTAIN, we're dedicated to simplifying the path to a healthier home. We do the work it takes to assess that the brands and products are SISTAIN approved, free of toxins, sustainably made, better for you, and better for the planet. This podcast is about empowering you to make conscious consumer choices, reducing the stress of navigating the complex world of non-toxic living. We'll explore practical tips on how to detox your home. We'll interview so many incredible non-toxic focused founders, and we'll discuss the importance of clean products and the effects those choices have on your health. Come along as we simplify the journey to a more sustainable, low-tox lifestyle, making it feel less overwhelming and more within reach. Welcome, Ava, to the podcast today.
Thank you.
We have Ava Thobe, who is the founder of Glazed Garage. She makes ceramic dinnerware, tableware, and drinkware out of Costa Mesa, California.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited too, because this is we've been doing exclusive partnerships for, I think it's been over a year.
I think so too. Yeah. Maybe a year and a half or so.
Yeah. And I found it's you and your mom still running the business, right?
Yep.
It's the two of you.
Yeah.
And okay, so I have so many things already that I want to ask you, but let's start with just like what inspired your business. Because I do know the business is called Glazed Garage.
Yes.
Because you guys started out of your garage, this handmade ceramic company. But yeah, let's just talk about like from the beginning, like what was the inspiration? Like how did you and your mom start doing this? Like what year was it?
Yeah. So I have grown up my mom's side of the family is very, very artistic. So I grew up with a wheel, my grandma's wheel in our backyard my whole childhood. So it was always just something that we were around. And my mom and her sister and my grandma were all art teachers. So we would host art camps in our backyard over the summers for all their students. My mom was elementary school and then just art for like 15 years. So I was always just around arts and crafts, and my mom made silver jewelry my whole childhood, and she called that Silver Garage, and she was working out of our garage our whole childhood. So I've always kind of been around my mom doing a small business with her artistic talents, and we would throw here and there. We weren't doing ceramics like every night, in my childhood, but we were definitely always around it. During COVID is actually when we kind of got like really into it. Her and I were making a ton in the garage. Obviously, there was so much time on everyone's hands, so we filled it with doing pottery. And I would start to post on Instagram just for fun, like, oh, throwing, whatever. And people were like, where can I buy this? I'm like, you can't. What are you talking about? Like, I'm just, we're doing this for fun. Never was it a thought that we would sell it or try to create a business out of it. And then from there, it just kind of grew and grew and grew.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that you just started it for fun.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was always fun. And we just, like I said, we never thought of growing it into a full-time business. My mom was still teaching. I was working a marketing job. But yeah, it was just something, art, ceramics was always a big thing in my life, I guess, from my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. And then with ceramics, like during COVID, when you said you guys got more into it, was there a reason? Like, did it feel like, I've always thought like watching ceramic creation even is like very therapeutic. Like it just feels really calming to the soul to even like watch it. I haven't done a ton myself. I've like taken a couple classes, but yeah, was there anything like about COVID and being home that was really like, oh, we like love doing this and we love doing it together?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I had moved home. I was in my senior year of college when COVID hit, and then I moved home to my parents' house. And I mean, it's just kind of my mom's thing to pick up like an art hobby. Like my whole childhood, she was, she went through a phase of making candles. She went through a phase of like making flour sack bags. And then during the time that we started to fill our time, we have always just kind of found a craft and tried to, have fun with it. So it was, I think, very calming and a way to kind of just like bond together and fill our time together when there was really not much to do during those months. And it was nice because we were kind of outside, you know, the garage is open and our dogs were able to hang out. And we're like, let's just like make some stuff for fun. We haven't thrown in a while, and let's just kind of hang out in the garage and make some stuff together.
Yeah.
So it was a way to fill our time and kind of distract from all the chaos going on and whatever it was. But
And then what was the turning point for you guys? Was it kind of like you starting to sell them through Instagram, and then like what was that turning point where you're like, oh, this actually is a business?
So I had a friend working at this place called the Ecology Center in San Juan. It's a regenerative farm. They're amazing. I love them so much. They have a beautiful, beautiful farm, and they have a farm stand in front where they sell all their produce and some local makers. It's like a little kind of grocery store, I guess. And I had a friend down there, and she's like, hey, and I had started an Instagram for Glazed Garage by this point. So I had started my Instagram, I think in September or October of 2021. And because people were asking about it, I'm like, I'm just going to post some photos and see if people are interested. If they want to buy it, like they can message me, you know? So my friend was like, hey, the Ecology Center wants to, my friend Allie, she's a buyer there. She wants to like carry your stuff. And I was like, I told my mom, I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean carry our stuff? She's like, yeah, bring down some samples and you can have a meeting with her and talk about selling. I was like, okay. So my mom and I go down there and we bring a box full of our ceramics. At this point too, we had been doing it for fun. So I was not very great at making things look the same. So she's like, I want 12 mugs. I'm like, okay, well, they're all going to be like, I wasn't weighing my clay yet. It was all very casual, right? And so she's like, we want 12 mugs. She put an order in on the spot. And I'm like, okay, I guess, Mom, here we go. Like, we have our first order. So we came home. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have to figure out like how to try to throw things that look the same, you know, because consistency is important to people. And ever since then, they kept placing orders, and their customers are amazing. I've created relationships with them on the side too. And so I think that was really the turning point, is being a part of that retailer and that brand and that story. And then we kind of just, got a lot of interest, I guess.
Yeah. And you are really good, I will say today. I mean, so we started working with you. I do want to say it was like, it might have been even towards the end of or mid 2022. So it was probably, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And because I remember it was when I moved to Colorado myself, and I was like, we had started selling, like doing these exclusive partnerships with ceramic artists. But one of the artists we were working with, it just wasn't working out because of the consistency, actually. Even for e-commerce, I mean, if you're selling in person, it's very different. Like, people actually love unique items, but once it's like a photo on an e-commerce, like they want it to look like the photo.
Yeah, that's what they expect. Reasonably so, also.
Yeah,
very reasonable expectation. Yeah.
It's like, of course, it's handmade. There's always going to be a little bit of variation, but yeah, I like ended up asking my friend who owns she curates vintage furniture, and now she's launching her own sustainable, non-toxic furniture line, which is really exciting.
That's cool.
So we're going to be carrying that soon.
So fun.
But I asked her about, like, I was like, I'm looking for like artists to work with. Like, do you know anybody? And she sent me your guys' Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so on par with what we're looking for. And so you guys have, I mean, with the consistency, it's wild. Like, when I see the ceramics in our warehouse, I'm like, oh my gosh, the mugs are, yes, they all have their own unique element of being handmade, but they are very consistent in size and shape. And
thank you. Because, you know, a lot of production ceramicists have machines and methods that help them create the consistency. My mom and I are very, I guess you could say, old school in the way that we don't use like extruders for our handles. Each mug is hand thrown. I don't use a measuring tape because I don't like to. There's like so many things that you can use to make things very consistent and that I probably should be using. But I'm like, I'm going to go on the feel, like this is, I know the feel. And especially when we have our standard mug, and that I've thrown so many of them. It really is a feel. I know when it's at the point it should be at. But a lot of places that crank out like thousands of mugs, they use slip casting and they use all these other different methods that help them with that. But I go purely based on like the vibes and the feel of the mugs. Yeah. And each handle, is hand done individually. We don't have a handle extruder or anything. So
yeah, you guys don't use any molds, really.
No.
I mean, other than for the one.
Yeah. We do some slump molds
Yeah.
for our hand building, but the thrown stuff is all just thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then so you and your mom still run this together. Do you throw most of it and she does other pieces of the business, or what is your guys' relationship in
roles?
the business? Yeah.
Yeah. So we've kind of fallen in. My mom is an amazing glazer, whether she loves that role or not. She has kind of fallen into the glazing role. She also does a lot of hand building too. I have kind of taken over the throwing just because I'm the one in the relationship that's a little more like literal, practical. So I like the consistency. I like the tidiness of making a bunch of things that look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I have fallen in the role of throwing, especially when it comes to like big wholesale orders and stuff where things need to look the same.
Mm-hmm.
She is great at hand building, so she helps with the hand building items. And then she does pretty much all the glazing and the firings.
Mm-hmm.
And for the glazing, we don't dip like a lot of people do, and like we probably should, but she hand brushes all the glaze on. So it gives her a lot of control over the glaze and, gives it variation. But yeah, I do most of the throwing. But when she throws, it's so funny because she doesn't throw a ton anymore. But when she gets on the wheel, she makes like a bunch of stuff and it might not look the same, but it is every single time I take it to a pop-up, her stuff is like the first thing to sell. And like, okay, whatever, like it's fine. But people, like you said, like in person, people like the uniqueness of pieces,
totally.
And her stuff, she's more the artistic, like whimsical kind of artist mind, I guess, out of the two of us. And it shows in her pieces and people really gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah. So when you do the hand glazing, is it when you dip, it would be like full immersion, right?
Yeah. So
you guys always have a lot, like there's quite a bit of like, it'll be like on the bottom of the mugs, it'll be like raw.
Yeah. So we like to keep the clay raw on most of our pieces, at least a little bit of it, just because we think it's pretty. And I think
it's beautiful.
Yeah. I think it's
totally.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds you that like, okay, this is like real clay, it's not like there's no point in hiding it. I think it's beautiful. And it kind of gives you a contrast of like the refined, with the glaze, the really pretty reaction of the clay and the glaze. And then on the bottom, you see the raw clay and what it looks like without anything on it, which is still so beautiful. But when you dip, you can put a wax on the bottom that repels the glaze. So whether you put that on, we could dip.
Yeah.
Or you just dip it and get halfway.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But a lot of people use wax, and because you can't glaze the bottom of something because it'll stick to the kiln shelf when you fire it.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you use stilts.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So there's so many ways to do it. Everyone has, I've seen people put like balloons, like blow up a balloon into the cup and then dip it that way. People get very creative. Wow. Yeah. There's so many methods.
And how did you navigate like the clay space itself? Like ordering clay, that's like the food grade clay, or I guess the glaze is actually the more important food grade part.
Yeah.
But how did you guys navigate like the research around that?
There is a ceramic store in Costa Mesa that's been around for years. I remember going with my mom when I was young to pick up clay for her students. And then there's also one that's about 45 minutes away that we actually go to a little bit more now just because they have this certain clay that we love to use. But just like everything with ceramics, there's a million types of clay, right? And if you go to a store in Colorado, they're going to have different variations of clay. Most of the clay, there's sculptural clay, which is like a total different consistency. Ours is food grade non-toxic, and it's meant for dinnerware, tableware, drinkware. So there are some clays like low fire clays. We fire at cone 5 and 6. So that is kind of our realm, if you will. But our clay stores they take care of all the non-toxic, no chemicals, that thing, and they assure us that everything is lead free and safe to eat off of. And same with the glazes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And then I love that you guys get it locally too.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And that's what's cool too, is like if I were to go throw in Hawaii or wherever, every little place has their own clay store, and a lot of them are locally sourced relatively. So you work with different clays. Like even my clay store in Orange County has different clay than the one 45 minutes away. So it varies, and that's what's kind of cool about it. And I've seen people make their own clay too, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I really want to try that.
Yeah, that would be so cool. And do you guys do you reuse any of the clay that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a process, but it's very simple to reuse. When you trim, and if like a piece breaks or flops or whatever it is, you get all these shavings, and you basically, before it's fired, it's reusable. So even if it's completely dry or wet, you put it in a bucket, you fill it with water, and then you can dry it out back to consistency, wedge it, and totally reuse it, which is awesome.
Yeah. So do you make like full ceramics from that reused clay, or do you mostly use it as like, oh, I'm going to add a little extra from this?
No, you can like throw it as if it was new.
Yeah.
Basically, the life cycle, it doesn't change. I mean, sometimes I like throwing better with reclaimed clay because it's a little bit softer.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just use that as if it's a new block.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And then, so you have like a very artistic family, just in general, right?
Yes.
You said you learned from your mom and your grandma?
And my aunt.
And your aunt.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear more about that. So like, have they all just dabbled in different things, or did your aunt and your grandma, did they focus on ceramics, or was it more kind of all these different artistic things like your mom?
Yeah, so my grandma, she got her master's in ceramics from Long Beach State. So she seemed to be pretty focused on ceramics and sculpture. And then she started the art program at a local high school around here. So she got into calligraphy in her older age. They're all they're true artists, so they jump around as to what they feel like they're into. My aunt, she was heavy on ceramics as well, and she's doing stained glass with my cousin right now. So they're kind of trying out stained glass, which is fun. And painting. So my mom's a really good painter. So is my aunt. I didn't get the painting gene, or maybe I just haven't put time into it. Painting frustrates me. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little literal, and the abstract paintings are hard for me. But yeah, oil paintings, but I would say they like to sew. They've done a lot of, sewing blankets. My mom said my grandma always used to make their costumes when they were little, like Halloween costumes and stuff. So we're a very DIY family. I would say growing up, every time we would go to the store, I'm like, oh my God, Mom, this is so cool. She's like, we could make that. And my cousins and I always joke that like we could make that is our family saying on that side of the family, because it's like, no, we could make that. Why would we buy that for $20? I'm like, we're not going to. So I'd rather just buy it now. We don't have the time.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so always very inspired by that side of the family and just being around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are other like inspirations that you've drawn for even just creating and designing the ceramics?
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, you live in a beautiful, beautiful state.
Yes. And that has played a big role, especially with our color palette. We use a lot of blues, natural colors, and greens. And I would say, I mean, my dad surfs. We grew up around the beach our entire lives. Been able to travel to some tropical locations. The ocean is like my happy place. So I would say that's a huge inspiration for us, is just the colors of the beach and the place that we live. And it's kind of an ode to that with keeping the clay raw. Some of the clay that we use is a little bit darker and it almost looks like sand. And then when we put the blue, it looks like the ocean coming onto the sand, or at least we think so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say our environment for sure. And I love food. And I think that, you know, if you can eat a beautiful meal or even a not so beautiful meal off something that's pretty, it makes it that much better.
Yeah, it does.
You know, it does. It's like
Yeah.
instead of just a plain white plate that everybody has, if you're eating it off like a handmade salad bowl or handmade salad plate, you just like feel better about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the handmade element there's just something really special about it.
Yeah.
You know, like I've actually had, because we've done a few different artist collaborations now, and I've had so many customers say that, like, you know, out of the handmade ceramics that they purchase from us, like they have to have like their mug like in the morning, like their
Yes.
handmade special mug, and like they will even like hand wash it,
Yeah.
you know, if it's dirty from the day before, so that they can drink out of that mug. Like,
Totally.
it's like a
People say that to me too.
ritual.
I'm like, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, I know. I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always cool to hear those stories because you only hear it with the handmade ceramics. You
Yes.
know?
And that's kind of I'm trying to write like a little thank you card to put in my packages. And one of the little sayings I have on it is like, I hope this piece, you know, brightens your little moments. And even if that's just having coffee in the morning and you like, you just feel good holding your mug, like it's just a nice moment, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your, I don't know if I can call it this, but like your manufactured line, or your, is it would it is that what you would call it, or like a
Yeah.
mold based line?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not technically speaking, it's manufactured. So we partnered with a factory and they have the systems in place that I was talking about earlier to crank out more than my mom and I ever could. So yes, I would say manufactured, factory
Yeah.
made.
Yeah, what was the decision to, because so we also sell that line too,
Yes.
which is, I think it's so beautiful, especially like the thing that I use the most is the colander. Like
Yes, right.
I use it for a berry bowl and like put grapes in it, and I just like it actually brings me so much joy because you can tell it still has the handmade
Yeah.
element to it because you guys created it and then
Yes.
they molded what you created, right? Or how did that
Exactly.
process go?
Yeah. So we got approached by actually somebody that worked at Anthropology very early on. Like right when I started my Instagram, I had seen a message and it was like, hey, I work at Anthro. Your stuff looks super Anthro. I would love to connect. And I'm like, what? I ignored it. I ignored the message for like a while. Long story short, I reached back out to him and he connected us with a company that brings small makers like us to scale by connecting us with factories. So basically we were kind of like, I don't know, this like, can we sell it? You know, if we do get this done, now we have all this product and we have to sell it. And it's a totally, you know, it's a little bit of a different market, but it would give us access to, you know, working with restaurants and working with larger retailers like you guys. So we're like, okay, let's give this a shot. So we spent, I want to say like a year and a half, 2 years working on the samples. So we packed up our little mugs, packed up our colanders, and we sent it over there. And they basically just made a slip cast of it and they're using their clay, obviously, because it's a different place. So it's different clay, like I was talking about earlier. And so we went through a few different types of clay, a few different glazes, and we finally landed on the blue grayish that we carry and the white. And it was, again, really important to us to have the clay raw. So the type of clay was important. And so many samples and so many shapes and tweaks. We got it to a really awesome place where I feel like it really reflects our handmade stuff. And it does feel very similar and it still looks handmade because, I mean, it is, right? Like there's not a machine that can just, I guess there's 3D printing now. But there's not a machine that can just print these out, right? So they still go through 2 firings. They're just made a little bit quicker and more streamlined. So that's been huge for us.
Yeah, I think they're so beautiful. And yeah, we actually I mean, they look so handmade that we have to actually clarify that they are manufactured on our site because There have been a few people who are like, wait, I thought this was handmade. And I was like, well, it was originally
Yeah,
handmade.
right.
But I think it's really cool that you guys have both options too. I mean, because one, it's a more affordable
Totally.
line than if you were making every single piece handmade.
Exactly.
But it really does. It still has the handmade nature, which is really cool. Like it still has the speckles. It still has
Yeah.
like the, texture. Even in like the plates, you can see like it's not this perfect evenness. Like it has this organic nature to it.
Yeah. And even especially in the blue gray, there's still glaze variations and, which I think gives it the handmade nature. And I mean, it's our designs, so at one point
Yeah.
it was handmade and then they just like copy and pasted it, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it is. And it's been cool too because we've been able to make more connections too with that line and kind of expand our business with people like restaurants. We're in a few restaurants and people like you, and then we can still focus on our handmade stuff for those wholesale accounts and those clients. So it's been a great way to expand because
Yeah.
it is hard to make it as a ceramicist, especially when it's just you and your mom, It's a lot of manual labor. As much fun as it is the timing and, things go wrong in the kiln and things don't
Yeah.
always come out as you want them to, but it's
Yeah, I remember even when you were saying that with the fires, like because it was so dry. It was so
yes.
dry I mean, obviously the fires wouldn't have happened if it wasn't like just absolutely so dry in the
Mhm.
environment. But you saying that like some of our samples came out, or some, not samples, they were like orders.
Yeah, your handle's cracked. Yeah, the handle's cracked because they were drying too fast. It was like the vessel dried quicker than the handle that I put on it, so it cracked. And that's a huge thing for us. The weather depends a lot, or the weather matters a lot for us, just on drying times and not drying. Like in the summer, I'll come into the shop and things I threw 4 hours ago are already starting to dry. And then when it's rainy out, it takes them 2 days to dry,
Yeah, it's so different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all variables,
Yeah.
but it makes it fun,
Yeah.
keeps it exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And so do you have any plans for expanding like with manufactured lines? Or I mean, I already have I want to do more stuff with you guys. I know
Yeah,
I think we just ordered matcha holders with you,
fun. Matcha
didn't we?
holders.
Or did I not ask you for
I
those?
don't think you did, but we can. We can work on that.
It's like I really want to do matcha holders that match
Oh, that would be
the
cute.
matcha cup, or the matcha bowls, and then the mugs, because we already have the matcha bowl that matches the
The
cup,
mug.
the mug, and then doing a matcha holder too, because we've actually gotten requests from a lot of our community for
That would be
those.
really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think about that. Maybe I'll go try
Oh,
to.
that's already being creative.
I'm like, wait, no, you did not order that, or else
No,
I am
that's
very
good.
behind.
I'm like,
No, that's cute though. Maybe I'll try to throw some today. I'll send you some photos.
yeah.
I'll make some samples. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's definitely some other ideas I have too for different ways that we could expand our partnership. But
Yeah.
yeah, is there any like for your manufactured line or anything like
We're
that?
working on a few new shapes. I think we were missing a cereal bowl in that line. So we're adding a cereal bowl,
Oh, cool.
cereal/ice cream, and then we're working on some new colors. I think we want to try a pink and maybe a green.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to get on a cadence. It's hard. You just have to plan so far ahead, and we're
Oh,
not
yeah.
planners aheaders.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure it out. It's just her and I, and we're like, okay, now what? Like, we're planning for spring 26, I guess. No, but yeah, we're working on some new shapes, new colors. I want to get into a few more restaurants, a few more retailers. The goal is to maybe try to get to a trade show at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to take it to the next step,
Yeah.
but just have to take the baby steps to get there,
Oh,
you know?
totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And then what do you like to throw the most? What is like the thing that you like brings you the most joy?
People ask me that a lot. I would say thing that I like to throw the most. I like throwing because a lot of times I throw smaller stuff. Like mugs are really popular, so I'm cranking out mugs all the time. I've been enjoying throwing really large. It changes. My answer changes. But right now, it's fun to try like 10 pounds of clay and to make a huge serving bowl. Because I think that is something. I don't have down and I don't do repetitively. So it feels like a challenge for me. And I really have to I always have to focus. But when I'm on the wheel and I put down like a ton of clay, I'm like, okay, this feels hard. Like my arms are tired and it's kind of challenging, but I want to see if how big I can get this bowl. So that right now is fun for me. Like big mixing bowls, and I put a little spout on them.
It's one of the requests that I was interested in. It's for mixing bowls. I think it's so fun. We've never sold handmade mixing bowls before.
They're super cool.
And
I just threw a few.
Yeah, so beautiful. I mean, it just like elevates your whole baking game.
Totally. I know. And then I threw my mom one, and she has it on her counter when she's not using it, just filled with oranges and lemons, and it still looks just as pretty.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I never thought about how it would be like, of course your arms would be tired, like with something really big. Like that's like,
well, that's why a lot of times, like there are some men out there that are amazing at ceramics, just like they have muscles, right? So they're like 15 pounds of clay on the wheel and they're like, whoop, like no problem. And I'm like, like my arms are shaking and I'm like, oh my God, like I need to take a break. And my wrists are just cracking. But it is fun. It's really fun. But the people that throw the really big stuff, I've always been so impressed.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
of work. And your studio now, because you started in your garage, but now you're in a studio. Is your studio, it's like separate from your house? Like it's its own space that you go to?
So
fire things.
Yes. So when we ordered the factory made stuff, we were like, oh, we can totally fit it in my garage or my mom's garage. No, we found it's not huge. It's a warehouse space. So it's essentially a bigger garage. But we moved all of our stuff up there. And then we had the shipment come to that factory or to that warehouse. So we have more space to put all that product and fill orders and then work from there too. And I like being able to go to work personally. So it's nice for me to go and then be able to come home. So we're separate now, but it's good. And my mom comes up from her house and gets to go home too. She glazes at home though. So she never gets fully away.
Is there a reason for that? Is it like
we still have our kiln down at her house.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, it gets so hot and it runs for hours and hours, like 8 to 12 hours, that we always get a little nervous of if we move it up to our shop and we leave, if the power shuts off or if something goes wrong. I mean, it's at like 2000 degrees, and it's left unattended. Not super, I don't know. It's just a little scary in case something were to go wrong. Nothing's ever happened like that. The power is shut off, but we've just kept it down there and it's so heavy to move, honestly.
Oh yeah. It's really heavy.
Yeah. And she does all the glazing down there anyway. So she just puts it right in there.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, probably one of my last questions really, is like, have you felt any like big challenges? Like talking to other entrepreneurs and like, especially makers, because I think makers have very different challenges than like the challenges that like me running a marketplace have.
Yeah.
Yeah. But are there anything that's like been a challenge and like how have you overcome that?
Yeah, I would say so many challenges. The biggest one I would say is just bandwidth, both on the making side and production side and with wearing all the hats, right? So that is very challenging. I mean, I'm so focused, I'm like, okay, I have these orders. I have to get to the shop and do these orders. The last thing I want to worry about is setting up my phone to take a video to post on Instagram or TikTok, right? So it's like that gets lost in my busyness of my day. Or I feel like we're so focused on production that a lot of times communication, my hands are wet all day, right? So it's like, I'm like, I don't get to emails as quick as I should. I don't do as much reaching out to, say, influencers or partners as much as I would like to, just because I'm so caught up in the day-to-day stuff. So I would just say trying to time manage is hard. And also timing is a challenge for us because it's hard to quote timing on our ceramics. So like, I mean, you've worked with me on this where it's like, okay, I say I can get you all these things in 4 to 5 weeks. And then it's like the firing schedules are different or there's, not enough pieces to fire. So the timing gets thrown off and we're a little late or we're 2 weeks early. Right.
Yeah.
So that's a struggle. We've gotten a little better with that as we've it's all time management. Honestly, time management is our biggest struggle.
Yeah.
And just trying to balance all the different aspects of the business instead of just the production part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that answer is actually much more similar to what I would say.
Yeah, right? I know, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you're a small business owner, like it
Yeah.
is like you do have to wear all the hats, and I have very similar. Just I feel for you with the, I'm always trying to create content too. But content is hard when, like for the rest of my day, I have to like clean up descriptions because we just relaunched our product pages. And so I have to like add all the, like edit these meta fields so that we know, so that people understand what work we do.
Totally.
To vet the brands that we add to our site.
Yeah.
Which is a very manual task. And so I'm like doing that later today. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could create content today, but I can't because I'm going to be in like data files all day.
And I'm like, I look like a homeless person at my shop anyways. Like I'm in like my baggy jeans and an old t-shirt. Like no one wants to see this right now. Yeah, that's hard. I mean, even if you go on my website right now, I haven't updated the website of my handmade stuff in probably like 6 months. It all says sold out.
Yeah.
So streamlining is hard too because we get bored and we make all these random things. It's like 2 of this mug in this color. And I'm like, I don't want to upload 1 million different products to my site right now.
Yeah.
With different descriptions, different sizes.
Yeah.
So then I just don't end up updating my site and I do story sales instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would do that too. That's because we were, like I said, when we were first partnering with ceramic artists, it was like the ceramics were so different that everything had to have a different SKU.
Yes.
It had to have a different profile. It had to have
product photo.
Everything. And I was like, we can't do this anymore. Like, this is not manageable. So that's when I was like, okay, I have to find artists that we can work with that can be more consistent so that and with your ceramics, like I don't think we've ever had a return even.
Yeah.
People just love them. So that's really nice.
That's huge too. That means you've gotten good at shipping ceramics too, because that's one of the biggest challenges.
We're still working on that because that's the only one we've had to resend because of breakages. And so actually right now, which I hate even sharing, but like we are actually wrapping in bubble wrap because we've had too many breakages.
Yeah.
But we're testing out this new bubble wrap that is plant-based right now.
Oh, cool.
Because before we were like wrapping them in corrugated recycled paper, which was thick, and we would have our warehouse like tape it up and everything. But then you have to make sure there's enough space in the box, and then you're supporting the space perfectly.
Yep.
Because all these carriers just throw the box, immediately.
I've had carriers come and pick things up, and they just throw them in the truck. I'm like, oh my God. Please don't.
I know. It's like, so that's like, we finally, like, it's just been too hard to get the warehouse to make sure, because people order different volumes of ceramics and they order different things from us. So it'll go in one box. Yeah. But to make sure that the warehouse does it perfectly, where it's like enough supportive packaging that like no part of the ceramic could ever hit an edge, It's
so hard.
It's just been too hard. So we finally were like, I was like, okay, just use bubble wrap and we'll find an alternative. So finally I found this plant-based alternative we're testing, but we haven't ordered it yet because we want to make sure. But I'll send you the link.
Yeah, please do. I would love it. Our factory actually, so that's what's so nice about that product too, is they created packaging specific to these pieces. Yeah. So they are fully like, there's hard cardboard inside of the other cardboard box, and then there's pieces, like supporting the handles or whatever it is. And we've had like no breakages with those.
Yeah, and that's what we've honestly thought about, just doing that too. Like, I think depending on like how like, I've been nervous about it because of changes with like, if we have any changes with partnerships or anything
Yeah.
like that, having like a custom box that we haven't used, you
No,
know?
I know.
That's
It's
something
so
I've been
tricky.
nervous about, but I have thought about like maybe we should just create a box because we do a lot of, it's like a lot of matcha bowls, a lot of
Hmm.
mugs, and they're similar sizes. They're not like exact same
Yeah.
sizes,
Just add
but
it
yeah,
to your list of things.
we're still trying to figure it
Add
out.
it to your
Yeah.
list of things to do.
Yeah, it's like I know that if I were packaging it every time, then I would be able to do it because I know exactly how to do it. But we have
Yeah,
different people touching, these packages, and so that's where it's
totally.
like what we're doing right now is not yet scalable. So
Yeah, it's
we're
hard.
working on
Oh my
it. Yeah.
gosh. See, isn't this
Yeah.
fun?
Yeah.
Owning a business is so fun.
Yeah. And there are, the time
Just these
management is
tiny
definitely,
little
yeah.
things, you're like, oh my God, I would have never thought of
Yeah.
this or like that even being an issue,
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually my last question, but is there any other is there any way that you create space for yourself to have this like more inspirational and creative outlet? Because you are doing a lot of production where it's
Yeah.
like, we send you an order. It's like, I think the last order we sent you was a little bit smaller because we're trying to be better about our time management of like
Yeah.
when we're ordering. And so we're
Yeah.
trying to send you smaller batches instead of being like, okay, we need like 40 of these. We need,
Right.
you know,
I know. It's okay.
so we're working on that ourselves. But yeah, is there a way, because you're doing so much production,
Mhm.
that you have carved out like creative space for yourself so that you can still experiment and
Yeah.
like enjoy the process?
For sure. I think my mom and I both kind of get to a point where when we finish a big order, we kind of take at least 1 to 2 days. Normally it's 2 days because you throw and then trim the next day of doing like a fun day where it's like, I'm not even going to weigh my clay. I'm going to grab a piece of it off, the block and just throw like a different shaped mug or like, oh, we saw this cute little thing on Pinterest, like get kind of our own or like gather inspiration from other pieces we've seen. I like to take pictures when I travel to other countries and all their different ceramics because they're always so different.
Totally. Yeah.
So yeah, we try to take at least like 2 days after every order to kind of just reset, have fun, have a few new fun pieces, especially for our in-person markets too. Those are really nice to have. So we try not to skip on those days of the fun stuff. So yeah, I would say we make time. We make time as
Yeah.
much as we can. But it is nice after a big order, like I said, to just like have a day of making whatever we want.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm always curious how entrepreneurs find that time
Yeah.
because yeah, if you lose like the creativity of it, then it's like, it can just be kind of draining,
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
turns into more work when you get into it because you love it and it's fun.
Mhm.
And then you don't want to lose that part of it.
Yeah, it's so important to keep.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then it's kind of fun too. Normally, I'm trying to get out of there by 5 o'clock after like a long day of working on orders. But on the fun days, it's fun to like stay a little bit later and feel like, I don't know, in my brain, it feels like, okay, the workday's over. Like now I'm here because I want to be.
Yeah.
And because this is like my time and I'm choosing to spend it here
Mhm.
and make fun stuff. So there's always like a shift in my day after when I should be going home and then I choose to stay. And it's like, okay, like now I'm just having fun. This is like,
Yeah.
this is for me.
That's
But
so cool.
yeah.
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 Well, this is so fun. This is
I
so
know.
fun, honestly, just to connect with
I
you.
know. I feel like we've been emailing for months and it's
Yeah.
like nice to finally chat with
We
you.
have. I know. Yeah. I remember when we first like onboarded you guys as a partner, we had a few different conversations about, okay, what's the vibe here? And like, how are we going to partner and all of that? But it's so cool to actually do a video chat with you.
Yeah, me
Person.
too. Love it.
So yeah, thank you for taking the time. And then, so, I mean, obviously we have, this exclusive partnership with Glazed Garage that you can purchase on Sustain. And then we have their manufactured line, but like, where else can people find you? Where can people follow you?
We just started our TikTok.
Yay!
Follow us on TikTok, Glazed Garage. We have our Instagram, Glazed Garage, and then our website is Glazed Garage Ceramics. And if you have a custom order in mind, we do a lot of custom orders, and you can just email me on the contact page or message me. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are on Anthropology too, and we are in a few boutiques in Orange County. So those are listed on my website too.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, Ava. I'm so excited there's like a few things I want to send you. So
Yeah.
Great.
It was so great to chat with you. That was so fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.